Hello, my name is Helen and a very warm welcome to my channel. A few months ago in early May I visited Rachel and Andrew's garden. I have recently revisited the garden to see how the plants, orchard and vegetable garden have developed since my last visit. The garden has now built up to its peak and the plants have reached their absolute zenith. Please join myself and Rachel again in her vegetable garden as she takes us through her gardening experience so far this year and unexpected challenges she has encountered. Other areas of the garden have changed dramatically, bursting into life with an explosion of colour and form. Let's take a look at this very special garden.
See you mine.
Rachel, hello, and thanks
again.
very much for inviting me back again. I cannot believe how this area and the whole place has actually changed since I was here before.
It's been a lot of rain.
Yes, that's right, and we've had lots of sun now and we've had lots of wind today. So
Yes.
How has this been in the production line?
Well, a really interesting year because obviously there's been a lot of rain,
Yes.
a huge amount of rain. So things that traditionally would do really well have not been doing so well, and vice versa. That's okay, guys. There's been a lot of slugs and snails this year, which everybody has commented on. They've been a real problem.
I've suffered from that.
Yeah, and I don't suffer here with slugs and snails, but this year it has been a problem. But the dahlias have been fine.
Look at
so
this. I mean,
they're all
colour
lovely.
and the size of these.
I know,
incredible.
They're rather gorgeous.
Yes.
So yeah, interesting. I mean, this trombone squash last year, these were growing right over the arches, and the fruits. I mean, they were slightly dodgy shapes, I have to say, but they were hanging like 3 foot down here by this time last year.
Oh, and
now they're
not done so well.
tiny. Yeah, they're absolutely tiny. They're coming, but they're not nowhere near what they were. So yeah, interesting year.
Very interesting.
But it's looking as mad as it always does by now. This sort of explosion.
When I came up the pathway and then I came into here, I wasn't really expecting, and I stood and I thought, wow, it's an explosion of plants and colours and production, and it looks amazing. It really does.
No way comparing myself to Great Dixter, no way at all, because it's the most superb garden, but I take a lot of inspiration from that. I love Great Dixter. I love the kind of mad explosion within the framework of the hedges and so on. So yeah, it's I think that's my style.
Yeah. Well, it's a lovely style to have, and we really appreciate all of this.
Aww.
So thank you very much. How have your apples come along? I saw there's quite a lot on there.
Beautiful.
Have you got any crops come off at all?
Not yet. The first one's probably this month.
I would be very grateful if you would give the video a thumbs up, share with others and subscribe to my channel by clicking here and ringing the bell. You should be notified of my next video. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is all your lovely chard, and I see you've got red and the orange, and there's a green one there as well.
Yes. And beetroot, and this has been, I guess this bed has changed. That's not the chard you saw in May, so that was no, that was in there, I think. Okay. So that chard, finally went to seed. This has been going, I can't remember, it must have been since May. I must have had this in the greenhouse. But this has been all sorts of leaf veg really. So we've had spinach and lettuce and carrots and beetroot, which is all a bit coming to its end now, but it's still in there. They're nice size, ready to harvest. Carrots are huge, the ones that are left. Yes. The squirrel that I mentioned.
The squirrel, with his cob nuts.
Squirrel, he's been digging carrots up and eating them.
See?
And he's also been dancing around in my fruit cage and knocking off all the lateral branches of the raspberries.
Oh,
so
no.
I've not had a lot of raspberries this year.
Oh no. Get that
squirrel, yeah. We've had real problems this year, more problems with animals and things, eating things. We had a family of rats in the compost bin.
Oh dear.
And I thought, oh well, they've got to live somewhere, haven't they, rats? So, and that was fine. We lived peacefully until I came up to water one night and they were running along my shelves and eating the strawberries off the strawberry plants.
Oh no.
That was it. Yeah. I won't swear on film, but that was it.
It's a step too far.
Step too far, yeah. So yeah, it's been quite a year for things eating things that we've never had before. You know, so slugs and snails.
And what about the rabbits? Because you were saying that you had this fence to
no
put
problem.
in. Oh,
no
well, that's
problem.
okay with those.
Rabbits are fine.
Yeah. Okay.
No problem
So
whatsoever.
in this bed, you've got your courgettes. I think I can see them here, and you've got some companion planting here. And what is it down the end? I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm trying aubergines.
Oh,
outside
very
this
interesting.
Year. It is very warm in this bit, so it might be okay, may not. I haven't had much luck with aubergines in the greenhouse, funnily enough. Whether it gets too hot in there, I don't know. So I thought, well, I'll try them outside. And it's just red auric that's growing amongst it, which I have no idea what you do actually with red auric, but it looks very pretty in flowers.
Very interesting. Yeah, definitely.
And this fennel, bronze fennel, which just seeds everywhere, but I just love it. It's
gorgeous, isn't it? Yes,
like froth. Yes,
and all the pollinators love it as well.
Yes, they do.
A lot on there.
They do
earlier on.
Any of those sort of umbrella flowers, they love, don't they? So.
And your sunflowers, they look amazing, don't they? And this one's still going for the
still
sky.
Going. I know. I think he's Titan. I think he's called aptly named, or Russian giant. But I quite like these bronzy. Some of the new colours.
They're unusual,
They're
aren't
lovely.
they?
Yeah. So that I just didn't plant everything with with flowers, really. I like seeing the corn coming up amongst them, and having the beans growing up. I think the Native American people used to plant like that, didn't they? They used to do corn and a bean and a courgette.
I'm not sure. I know corns and beans.
Yeah.
Oh,
squash.
Okay.
Squash. Well done. Yeah, one for shade, wasn't it? That's right. Yes. And the corn for support. So it's kind of like that.
Very good.
So,
shall we move on from the soft fruit then? If that was
a disaster with a squirrel. Yes, I'm not talking about the soft fruit.
And we'll go up to the greenhouse.
Of course.
Rachel, this is now the greenhouse
Indeed.
that was very small when we were talking about it last time, and hardly anything growing at all.
I think they were like that, weren't they? The tomatoes.
They were small.
So it's been a good year. I've had lots of them already.
Very good.
Lots. We've been eating tomatoes non-stop. As you do.
You had lots of varieties in here, didn't you? You got the little tiny cherry ones here.
Yes, so there's a couple that didn't work. Cream sausage didn't work.
Cream sausage.
Cream sausage was a real problem, and I had a bottom end rot thingy with cream sausage. So we've got rid of cream sausage, and the yellow pear shapes weren't great.
Oh, okay.
Other than that,
that's all right.
It's been a success.
And I see you've got a fabulous cucumber down here, which I filmed earlier.
The cucumbers, there's almost been too many.
Really?
They've just cropped and cropped and cropped. The plants are exhausted. Look at them.
Yes.
They're just, and I'm feeding them every week, but they're just producing so much fruit. There's just loads and loads. So, we're cucumbers in everything.
Well, that's fantastic.
We're just eating a lot of tomatoes. There's a lot still to go. And I'm growing lots of basil underneath them. There's another cucumber there, I've just seen.
Oh, yes.
So,
very good. Well, that's amazing. Thank you again so much, Rachel, for inviting us back to see your garden as it is now.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. When I came through, as I did before, I couldn't believe that I was actually in the same garden that I'd visited before, and also the meadow over there. It looks spectacular. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to open at this time of year. There's a lot more work than in May.
Yes.
But I love it this time of year, and that's what I wanted to share. So I'm glad you felt that. So.
I'm glad to be here to see it, because it is something that you don't see very often. It's really good to see.
Good.
So
fantastic.
Thanks very much. Well, perhaps we'll come again and we'll see the next phase.
Yes, I vaguely said perhaps I ought to do spring, summer, autumn, winter with a loyalty card.
I'll have one.
We'll see. My friend said I was mad.
Thanks, Rachel.
No,
we'll see you again.
Yes,
bye.
Let's take a look at other areas of the garden. The flowers have burst into bloom and colour, the blossom has generated into hundreds of apples, and the area around the pond has become the most gorgeous, unforgettable meadow. This is a cardoon. In Victorian times it was grown as a vegetable. Now it is mostly grown for its thistle-like foliage. This very large specimen certainly adds drama to this area. When the purple flowers open, it attracts a lot of pollinators, mostly bees. The dead heads, if left on the plant for winter, create additional interest, and some birds eat their seeds. Great use has been made of the compost bins for garden waste. The contents has certainly increased since May. The runner beans are doing well, but not quite ready for picking. The sunflower seems to enjoy it here and have support from the runner beans. There are only a few sweet peas left, but Rachel has very kindly left a note for visitors to take some seeds if they wish. The dahlias have the most outstanding flowers, colours and combination of petals. This one has pale dusky peach blooms the size of a dinner plate. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. In May, this area with the pond at the top looked lovely just with green grass. It has now been completely transformed with an explosion of wonderful golden grasses and just left for nature and for us to enjoy this very special area. The dead hedge, although it has some surprising green branches sticking out, has definitely got some life in it. The pond has also sprung into life. Rachel has seen some frogs and newts, which is really exciting to know the conditions are perfect for this type of wildlife, and they have made their home here. Rachel and Andrew attended a fruit tree pruning course at Brogdale Collection, which is the home of the National Fruit Collection in the UK. This has certainly paid off. This canopy is absolutely brimming with apples. I am sure Rachel will be making a lot of delicious chutney from these apples. The weather in the UK has been very unpredictable in June and July. We have had an awful lot of rain, but at the beginning of August we experienced some very hot days. Throughout all the weather changes, this garden has flourished. Thank you, Rachel and Andrew, for sharing your very special garden. Here are some more gardens that you might like to see.